Well, we should learn more today about an intense manhunt for a suspected murderer that had a number of schools on lockdown and neighborhoods blocked off.
Yeah, investigators were out well into the night searching yards and gathering up evidence in this case.
And I got a call from my friend saying not to go home because there was a shooter in my neighborhood.
Well, take a look at this. Yesterday, Sky News 13 saw Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies in SWAT gear driving around this neighborhood near Taylor Ranch and Golf Course. They were searching all over for this man, Trinidad Gallegos. Investigators say Gallegos was wanted for the abduction and murder of Sergio Bickham. Bickham's body was found in May in a tunnel near I-40 in the Route 66 casino. Well, last night, deputies got into a gunfight with Gallegos. He was possibly shot, and his trail of blood led deputies to two homes they say he broke into. He was arrested after they found him hiding in the closet in one of those homes. Well, at 5:32, APS's school board is hoping to have a temporary new leader sooner rather than later.
Board members want an interim leader by tomorrow. Meanwhile, others want answers about former Superintendent Winston Brooks' departure. APS posted the job online late last night. The plan is to have about 5 finalists picked by tonight and an interim superintendent picked by tomorrow night. Board members held a meeting to discuss all of this yesterday. The job came open after board president Annalee Maestas hired an attorney to look into, quote, a serious personnel issue involving Brooks. Sources tell News 13 that investigation centered around Brooks' wife. Brooks resigned Friday after the board approved a $350,000 buyout. However, the board refuses to explain why that payout was necessary or release any information about the investigation. At last night's meeting, we did learn that Veronica Garcia, Bill Richardson's former education secretary, is interested in the superintendent job. We'll keep you posted. On a different matter, the school district in Albuquerque is asking parents to be patient when it comes to the bus driver shortage it is facing this year.
Yeah, it's already led to some very crammed buses, and some kids, get this, say they've had to sit on the floor for their ride home. Still, the district says the majority of kids who ride buses have not had any issues. However, the district admits there are still problems that need to be fixed. The district says all 15 bus companies it contracts with each need about 10% more bus drivers. They have 360 drivers right now, and there should be about 400. The shortage is across the board, so Acting Superintendent Ruben Hendrickson says they cannot shuffle routes around to different companies.
We can't do that because nobody else has the excess capacity or the burst capacity to step in and take over those particular routes.
Mr. Hendrickson says they've been meeting one-on-one with the bus companies to understand this issue and learn how to avoid it from happening again. He says they are trying to hire more bus drivers, and they hope to get the issue fixed in the next few days. New this morning at 5:34, some good and bad news when it comes to teen birth rates here in New Mexico. According to a new report just released by the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, teen birth rates continue to drop across the country and the state. However, New Mexico is still at the top of the list with 47.5 births per 1,000 teens. Experts say nationally the decline is a combination of less sex among teens and more contraception. Well, this morning we know more about the hazing investigation into the UNM women's soccer team. Athletic Director Paul Krebs talked about what did and did not happen during a freshman initiation party. Despite other media reports, the AD says there was no nudity or urine sprayed on the girls. Now, we have learned, however, some sort of liquid, maybe window cleaner, was sprayed at the girls, and we're told alcohol was involved.
Kit received a call sometime around 2 a.m. roughly on Monday morning from a parent indicating that their child was in the hospital at UNM Hospital with an alcohol-related problem.
All right, up until now, athletes only had to sign a form saying they would not participate in hazing. Well, Krebs says going forward, athletes may have to take an anti-hazing class or classes. For now, the players will be doing community service for the next 2 weeks, and more sanctions, he says, are on the way. A UNM professor is not facing charges for allegedly shoving a cop at a protest. At least no charges for now. Police arrested David Correa during this protest at the mayor's office back in June. He and a dozen others were there demanding that the mayor do more in the wake of APD's deadly shootings. Correa was accused of shoving a cop in the chest and charged with battery on a police officer. But yesterday, the DA's office dropped that charge, saying it needs more time to review the case. Correa says it shows he did not do anything criminal.
A prosecutor is ordering the city of Santa Fe to hand over a police commander's payroll records for an investigation into possible fraud. A court panel sent the request for interim Santa Fe Police Captain Jason Wagner's payroll records. The subpoena also requests a copy of the internal investigation into Wagner's unauthorized timesheets. Wagner resigned last December after being accused of lying on his timesheets. The new police chief, Eric Garcia, who rehired Wagner in July, says the department will help the district attorney in every way possible. Well, the city of Albuquerque says it's doing what it can to make sure the police department has enough officers. Police Chief Gordon Eden originally told city councilors that he was postponing a cadet class because of a budget crunch. He said he only had money for 940 officers, even though the budget calls for more than 1,000. The mayor's chief of staff, Gilbert Montoya, says that public safety remains a top priority and that the city will do everything it can to make sure the department has enough money and officers. Liz?
If crunching numbers is your thing, the folks at H&R Block want to hear from you today. They are looking for everyone from receptionists to marketing coordinators, you name it, for 38 tax offices in the Albuquerque area. All you have to do is show up, bring your resume to the office at 5201 Ouray Northwest for a chance at one of these positions. The job fair starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon and runs until 4. Good luck.
It'll be tax time before you know it.
I know.